Hello and welcome to Conversations with Body and Mind with myself, Nirvana Lange. Body and Mind is your health and wellness online directory. And coming up in today's conversation, I'll be chatting with Sharron Duff, and she's going to tell us more about Quantum Soul Esoteric Services. We're going to get more into that. Good morning, Sharron. How are you doing?
Morning, I'm very well. And how are you this morning?
Very well. Thank you very much, Sharron. So the first part that I always find interesting is to hear a little bit more about what were those events that led up to you discovering this work, to you saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to help people with. What were those events that kind of led up to? Sometimes I say that when we have an event in our life, like a dark night of the soul or something like that, that is then, you know, the teaching that helped us, that we then know that this is the route that we want to go in our lives. So tell us a little bit more about you and how did that all start for you?
Okay, it wasn't anything as dramatic as a dark night of the soul. It was basically just a very gentle transition. I realized that I had mediumship skills about 20 odd years ago when I did joined a developmental circle. And then I started drawing spirit guides. I am an artist. I always have been creative. And it just basically sort of bloomed from there. I did spirit guide portraits for many, many years. And yeah, then I started channeling. I joined a local esoteric spiritual church. And yeah, it just sort of went from there. About a year ago, I decided to leave my corporate job that I'd been in for 35 years. So
And
that was a huge step.
What corporate work were you in before?
I was basically, I had done various jobs in a bank. And as I said, I had sort of, I'd been there for quite some time. And when I used to fight with my guides and say, can I leave yet and do my own thing? It was like, no, you got to stay. You're a light worker. This is where you've got to be. So, yeah, there was a situation that happened that allowed me to sort of find the courage to leave, because it was a step, a big step. And yeah, once I decided on that, that's what started Quantum Soul, basically.
As they say, the rest is
Yep.
history. And as a child, did you experience that as a child? Like, did you experience being able to, you know, have those gifts already? Or when did you start becoming aware of them? Like, what was those things that happened that you started realizing, wait a minute, I'm different, or I can see this, or I can hear this, or I can, you know, like, or how did it came that you started drawing these soul portraits? Like, what were those things that brought you to that point?
Well, I did art all through school. And I was always a portrait artist. That was just something that I enjoyed doing. And I think it was just a case of spirit guiding me to the right person at the right time. As I said, I joined a developmental circle and it just became the most natural thing. But as a child, the only thing I can really make reference to are imaginary friends. I was always in a world of my own, you know, little light worker, always with the kids who weren't the most popular and who were sort of left out of the crowd. You know, I remember always being drawn to those types of people, just because it felt like the right thing to do. So there was no defining sort of factor of me seeing spirits and seeing my grandfather and that type of thing. It was just always there in my circle. And yeah, just as I say, being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person when I was ready. I had little kids to bring up, you know, I wasn't available until after my second child was born. And then I suddenly had a chance to do something for myself. And that's sort of when when it developed from there. So it's been an exciting journey. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. Absolutely. So now we go into Quantum Soul Esoteric Services. You say Quantum Soul provides a window into healing your past, understanding the present, and being spiritually prepared for the future. So that sounds amazing. And then I also see on your page, on the Body and Mind page, which you are a member, and we're very, very happy to have you join us. Your services includes things like Akashic Record Readings, past life explorations, spirit guide introductions, spirit guide portraits, and so on. And I think there's so much, crossovers as well, general readings and crossovers. I think you work with animals as well. So tell us a little bit more, like what is, what is the Quantum Soul Esoteric services besides the services that you offer? Like if I come to see you, what would I ask you, or what would I, why would I come and see a Quantum Soul Esoteric services person? I think that's the right question, maybe.
Okay. The whole ethos around Quantum Soul is healing. And in that, there is just so much. It's vast. It can be anything from coaching. Maybe somebody just needs a little bit of general direction. It can be wanting to get in touch with your spiritual side. I offer a whole lot of different esoteric services because I've just found that there is just so much need. You know, some people don't need to go through the whole mentorship program to understand that they have a spiritual gift. It just really, really depends on what they are looking for. So there's always just trying to match the person's desire with the healing need that Quantum Soul offers. So what I've tried to do is, I also don't believe in limiting yourself. You know, we are so many different things. We have many, many lifetimes of experience behind us that we just need to remember how to tap into. So that's why I love offering of the Akashic Records, tied with your past life experiences brought into the current, and then, as I say, preparing you for your future self as well, because we are constantly evolving and growing into our full potential. And sometimes we just find ourselves blocked by external factors, whatever they may be. I mean, we're also living in a 3D environment that brings certain conditions with it. And sometimes it's hard to look past that. So what you need is a little bit of a nudge or a little bit of a prompt from somebody who's not directly involved to say, you know, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And that's kind of where it goes. As far as the quantum services are concerned, but it's also, animals are my passion. My absolute passion, my joy. And I have found that there is a niche, or let's say there is a need for animal services like the tracking. That is something that I do quite a lot of. People are desperate to make contact with their loved ones in spirit, be their human loved ones or their animal loved ones. Okay. There's also a need for understanding animals better. So you're talking about animal communication. I do animal astral healing, which works beautifully in terms of removing blocks. And I work with animals, anything from anxiety to rehoming to animals who've been under abuse. And it's almost like animal counseling, but it's not for everybody. And it is something that I have found, as I said, that there is a need for. And that's what sort of attracted me into that field. So they are the splits idea, the animals versus the sort of human trail, but they are interconnected because of the spiritual gifts.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of in a nutshell.
And so the Akashic Records, so if somebody's kind of feeling maybe they keep on attracting the same experience, or they are finding that they're stuck and blocked and not knowing why they're here, so the Akashic Records is something that maybe can help. First of all, understanding, the soul agreement or the agreement of why you are here. I, for instance, say if somebody who comes in with cancer can do all the affirmations and all the natural healings that they want, that's available. But if it's in their Akashic or in their soul's agreement to expire from this earth with that particular disease, then so I feel like there's, as you say, so many levels to all of these things. It's not just a matter of I use, for example, that my boys have gone out of my life for 15 years, and it's taken me 15 years maybe, of growing and understanding. They're on their soul path and I'm on my soul path. But it's taken me really from as you say, the valley of death, like really wanting to just depart, because I couldn't live on this planet not having my children with me. And so, so this is the kind of thing that I think Akashic Records can really help people to understand when they're going through something really so dramatic, or wanting to understand what their blockage is about. How do you use the Akashic Records? Like, how do you, what do you do, I suppose?
Okay. Well, the Akashic Records holds the story of your soul journey, basically, from the point of inception and right through to future lives that have already been planned, because your soul will create around a theme. So you will have incarnations created around a theme that your soul needs to experience through. Okay. So you might, for example, have created a set of 5 lives around a certain theme. Maybe in your case, it might be surrender, it might be loss, it might be, I don't know, anything around learning to accept, okay, rejection even. So there's a certain number of themes. There's actually quite a few of them that I work with. And what I do is I access your Akashic Records with your permission and find out the source of whatever it is that you're looking for. Some people are just interested in their soul's journey. So because you have so many past lives, I wouldn't be able to tell them all to you, it would be ridiculous. So what I do is I pinpoint the lives that have a direct influence over your current journey. And then from there, we drill down. So because there are various services that I offer, including the past lives, so that's the story of a few of your past lives, as I say, connected to your current journey. It might be one past life connected to why you are suffering from cancer, what you are here to learn, what you need to do to try and overcome that. If it is a contract that you have with source energy, because that's why we are here, we're contracted to source energy first. In your case, with the losses that you've experienced, what were you learning from that? Why were they there? It might have been a case of you teaching them, not the other way around. All of that comes through. But what a lot of people don't realize is that even when you're going to a reader or any medium who is doing a general reading, what they're doing is they are tapping into your Akashic Records with your permission. That's how they know what they know. So you are constantly, as a being anyway, because you are a spiritual being, so you are constantly tapping into your Akashic Records as you go about your daily life, because your Akashic Records are updating with all the information and all the understandings that you have. You're drawing from source, from your soul energy, and it's being up. It goes through your higher chakras. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why people can find that they're overwhelmed, over emotional. They're not in control of their lives. They can't shut off. They overthink situations and that sort of thing. It's simply because they are not able to sort of understand that they are a spiritual being in motion, that they are tapping into that energy constantly. And that's basically how the Akashic Records works.
Yeah, like your cell phone needing to update every few days, like it needs to update. Although I don't do those updates with my cell phone because they want to trace and track, and I don't believe in being traced and tracked. It's fine. Source can trace and track me as much as it likes, but I'm not letting the cabal trace and track me anyway. Right. So Sharron, how can people get hold of you? Where are you based? And your social media links, please.
Okay, well, I'm based in Waterfall, outside Hillcrest, between Durban and Pietermaritzburg. Our work is done remotely. I gave up my office space just before COVID, just in the nick of time. So all my work is done remotely. I do a lot of video conference calls and things like that for those that do want a sort of a face-to-face feel. Available through my website, available on Facebook, through Messenger. My remote readings are all done on WhatsApp, over Zoom if you're wanting a recorded session. Through Facebook Messenger as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Pinterest.
What are your Facebook pages and Instagram pages?
It's just, so it's Quantum Soul is my Facebook business page. I have a group called Soul Inspirations, which is just inspiring you to live your best life. I am starting a mentorship group, which is private. That is all things soul. So if anybody is interested in that, they can contact me privately. And then Pinterest is just Sharron Duff, Quantum Soul. Trying to think now. Instagram is just Sharron Duff, Quantum Soul as well. Okay. So Otherwise, my private page, and then you just message me from there if you're needing anything. But all the information is on my website is www.console.com.
Fantastic. And of course, we will also share all of those details on the Body and Mind page, which is bodyandmind.coza. We also have the Body and Mind blog site, which is bodyandmindblog.coza, where you can then interact and share your comments. All you have to do is put in Sharron Duff in the search bar, and all her details will come up, and click through to her website. We also have our health directory, Body and Mind Health Directory app on the Apple as well as on the Android Play stores. And you can just put in Sharron Duff in the search bar and find her that way, and click straight through to her website. Please do like us, our YouTube channel, ring that little bell so you can get notifications, and please share this with people that you think you can gain benefit out of these conversations and these wonderful people that are part of our community. Thank you so much, Sharron, for a lovely chat and for sharing your beautiful work with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.